Hello everybody, welcome to a very impromptu ASMR video. Basically, excuse the setup because I have no idea how long I have to film this, so I'm just going to be showing you my tea collection. I don't have very much, honestly, but it's still a decent chunk. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and get started with, let's start with a really good one. This is the Yogi Soothing Caramel Bedtime Tea. And true to what it says, it does taste kind of caramel-y. Let's see, on the back it says, formulated to support relaxation, chamomile flower, skullcap, and L-theanine are blended to help calm the body and mind for a good night's sleep. Sweet rooibos, caramel, and vanilla flavors combine for a delicious and warming tea. Unwind with a cup. So I have been using this when I've been having trouble falling asleep, or if I wake up in the middle of the night and can't fall back asleep. This one's got me. Dare I say, it does actually work for putting me to sleep. I can get out a tea bag. I have so much tea behind me. Supports a good night's sleep, caffeine free, obviously. Yeah, it definitely smells like caramel. I think the caramel and vanilla flavors are like the top notes for this one. But it is really good. I know they have I think it's a lavender one, like lavender and honey, I think. And I do like lavender, but I hate honey in anything. But I always love caramel, so this one was pretty good. Next tea. Let's do this other caffeine-free one. We got the Lemon Zinger by Celestial Seasonings. In this classic brew, I'm sorry if you hear any crunching, that is my cat eating. But in this classic brew, we blend real lemons and lively lemongrass with hibiscus, the vibrant tropical flower that gives all Zinger teas their signature tangy taste and ruby red color. It's a bright tea that's perfect in any weather. I like drinking this one when I'm sick because lemon is supposed to be good for you. So let me pull out a tea bag. like the yogi tea. This one just comes not in its own separate packaging. And this one also doesn't have a tag, which is very unfortunate because how I like to steep my tea is using the string and just moving it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in the cup. And obviously the lemon is the top note in this tea. But I do sense the hibiscus, the tang of the hibiscus. Yeah, it's not my favorite tea. It's probably one of my lower ranked ones from this collection, but it's not bad. As an occasional tea for when I'm sick, it does its job. Let's do a variety pack next because I'm a fiend for black tea, and this box is the Twinings black tea variety pack. It's got English breakfast, Irish breakfast, Earl Grey, and Lady Grey tea. I love Twinings so much. So I have used quite a bit of the tea in here. It's almost completely gone. Well, there's only 2 bags of English breakfast left. I do have a caffeine-free box of just the Twinings English breakfast because it's my favorite one. I think when you picture the smell of a standard black tea, this is what you think of. So yeah, this one is probably my favorite tea out of my entire collection. Dare I say, I think I think English and Irish breakfast are my top 2, just because Irish breakfast is so similar. It's just like, I think a bit stronger than English breakfast, but I think those are my top 2, and then the Sleepy Time caramel tea is in the top 3. So this is Irish breakfast. And these are Lady Grey and Earl Grey. Also not a big fan of Earl Grey or Lady Grey tea. They're not bad, but they're not usually my go-tos. And these are black teas that are just kind of more citrusy tasting, like in the ingredients for Lady Grey. The ingredients are black tea, orange peel, lemon peel, natural citrus flavors. Very citrusy. And the ingredients for Earl Grey are black tea, natural flavors, and bergamot peel. It's been a while since I've drank either one of these, so can't really tell you how they fare against each other. All I know is that these are kind of like in the middle of my ranking for all of my teas that I have. I don't know. Maybe if you guys are an Earl Grey or Lady Grey connoisseur, you will let me know if you like one above the other. The next tea is the final box that I have, and I also maimed the box so it's not pretty looking anymore. This one I just tried last night for the very first time. It is the traditional medicinals organic hibiscus tea. You can see I've maimed the box terribly, but it is kind of like a berry tasting tea, and this little tagline under the name definitely holds true that it is tart and fruity. So let's see here. Taste tart, tangy, and fruity. Okay. Plant story. We source some of our favorite hibiscus flower from organic and fair trade farms in Burkina Faso, definitely mispronounced that, Egypt, and Zimbabwe, where the heat-loving plant flourishes. Our farmers harvest the flower's red centers, called calices, for us, and then we blend them with blackberry leaf and lemongrass to create a delightful tea to enjoy iced or hot. So like I said, I tried this one for the first time last night. I think it wasn't bad. I think I just made too much of it because I couldn't finish it. It definitely was very berry tasting. So like that blackberry that it mentioned in the story, I think definitely popped out. And it was very tangy and berry-like. It says here that it is caffeine free. First of all, the black tea variety pack are not caffeine free, and under here it says promotes heart health, and the wrapper is compostable. Cannot verify if it is heart healthy or not, obviously, because I am very new to this tea. But it definitely was not bad. So I think this ranks above the lemon. The final tea that I have to show is not my favorite taste-wise, but it is my favorite container. You'll see why. It's Bridgerton tea. Where is the company name? The Republic of Tea. This is the Bridgerton Brothers Triple Earl Grey. I love Bridgerton so much, so I chose this one out of the other Bridgerton teas in the collab really just because of the container, so I can keep this once the tea is gone. And it has my 3 favorite boys, who also were my 3 favorite stories in the book series. Anthony's my favorite. But let's see what it says here on the side. The ABCs of tea. Get it? Because this is Anthony, Benedict, and Colin. This twist on traditional Earl Grey tea is anything but boring. Rakes, artists, and lovers can all depend on this black tea with bergamot, orange, and lemon to get them through the day or whenever their endless charms and good looks fail to impress. Simply steep 1 tea bag in 6 ounces of boiling water for 3 to 5 minutes. Enjoy hot or light cool and pour over ice for a bold refresher. So this one obviously has caffeine in it. It's another Earl Grey black tea. Its ingredients are premium black tea, apple bits, organic lemongrass, organic lemon peel, natural sweet orange and lemon flavors with other natural flavors, and natural bergamot oil. And it came with 36 tea bags. I have not gotten through definitely not even a half of that, probably not even a fourth of it, honestly. But it smells really good. It comes in this little round baggie, like I think almost all Republic of Tea canisters come in. It's definitely very strong. Definitely get the citrusy scent again. Again, it's not bad. I'm not like an everyday or I don't typically gravitate towards Earl Grey. But again, it's not bad at all. And I do think the caffeine in this is pretty strong, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but I think if you drink this in lieu of a morning coffee, it's a similar like pick-me-up effect. So yeah, there's still a lot left in this can. I will be keeping the can once these are all gone, by the way. I'll put trinkets in them. But with that is currently all of my tea. Hello everybody. It's been a while since I've filmed, even though it would not have been a while for you guys. But I just got back from buying more books. I need to be stopped, honestly, from buying so many books. But I bought a few books, and I thought that I could make a video out of it. Just something short and simple. So they're right behind me. Most of these, except for the very last one I'm going to show you, is from a local independently owned bookstore near me. So yeah. support your local bookstores. But the first one, I went in to get a physical copy of The Tenet of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. Unfortunately, they didn't have the version that I wanted, and I didn't like the other ones that they had, so I left with 4 books that they were on my wish list to get eventually, but they're not what I was aiming to buy today. But the first one is Osamu Dazai, No One Knows stories. So it's a collection of short stories by Osamu Dazai, famous for writing No Longer Human and I'm going to look at the back here for how this is described. These are a bunch of short stories. The back describes it as the soliloquies by female narrators. Dazai himself compiled for a previous collection at the insistence of his fans and adds 5 more, several of which appear in English for the first time. That's what I like so many, because of Bungo Stray Dogs, the anime, because that has become so popular and there's a character named and based on this author. So many of his works are finally being translated and published, and that makes me just so happy to see. So it says, here we experience the pathos of a dying young woman who invents for herself a tragic poet whose love for her is doomed by his lack of social standing and her disease. A talented high school writer's passion for literature is spoiled by the machinations of her family and tutor. The owner of an inn cannot help but serve drink after drink and meal after meal, even as her finances and health are ruined. Is this compassion or a perverse extreme of politeness? A young reader writes a fan letter to an author she admires, only to discover that he is a sophisticate, nothing like the desperate rebels he portrays. Novelists are human trash. No, they're worse than that. They're demons. They write nothing but lies. So, I saw this, and I was like, I might as well. The next one I'm going to show is Carmilla by Joseph Chardin La Fanu. I probably mispronounced that. But something that's really cool about this version is the illustrations on the pages, some of the pages. It's beautiful. So, I read Dracula, loved Dracula. This inspired Bram Stoker, and Bram Stoker personally knew Le Fanu, so I'm very excited for this one. Next, another one that I have already read. It's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Look how beautiful this version is. I don't know what you'd call this material. It feels almost like a dense foam. But I've already read Frankenstein, but I do want to reread it. So this is my physical copy of it. I just thought this version was so beautiful. And in the same style, I got a new book to me. That was also a classic. Madame Bovary. I know nothing about this book, but I am very interested in reading it. And again, it's a very pretty little design. The final book that I have to show is unfortunately from Target. Sorry. In my defense, I had to go there anyway to pick up medication, so, and my book lover heart, I know that there's a book section obviously, so I just can't stop myself from dipping into there. And I thought it was cheap for a hardcover. I don't know if that's true, but I reasoned with myself like, it's cheap for a hardcover, so I might as well. I unfortunately caved to Book Talk, even though Book Talk and I don't have that good of a relationship. And I got Powerless. I love the cover of this. I've heard some really good things about the Powerless series. And I'm not usually a fantasy reader. I've read ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses, not finished with the series, but I've read the first 2 of that. And I thought it was okay. But I thought I'd give Powerless a try because I read the first few pages and I liked how it was written. There's a little map. I just liked how it was written from what I saw of it online. So I decided to try it, even though I'm not a big fantasy girly. It's a beautiful cover though, and the dust jacket. But with that is my haul so far. I can guarantee you there will be several more come my next bookish video, whenever that may be. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hello everybody. Today we are talking about jewelry. I have a little showcase to go through, and it's not all of my jewelry because we'd be here forever if it was, but also I have jewelry that's not really good for ASMR. And a lot of my jewelry, like half of my collection, I inherited from my grandma when she passed, and it's mostly her rings, and they are in delicate condition. I don't wear them. I've never worn them. I probably will never wear them unless I get like remakes or like ones that look like the one she has, and then I wear that, like a little copycat, I guess. I only have one of her things to show off because it's not as delicate as the other ones. But I chose some jewelry that you might catch me wearing in videos. I'm not wearing anything right now. But also I wear quite a few of these just out and about quite often. So I guess let's get into it. Let's start with the rings. This first one is the newest in my collection. Nothing special. It's literally plastic and it's from a local amusement park. Literally from an arcade. So it doesn't do anything. It's just green plastic. But it looks cool. I wore this for a few emo friend videos just because it looks cool. It's a nice pop of color. It's a good fit. So I don't know. I like it, even though it was like 10 tokens in an arcade. The next one is this little pouch. I have a few rings in this little boruo. This little pouch here. Not all of these rings are from boruo, or however you pronounce it. A few of them are. The ones I wear quite often are. So I guess I'll go ahead and take out those. First we have this little, I want to say it's like a witch's knot, Celtic knot. I don't remember the exact design name. But I wear that and this other little Celtic design, I think. These ones I wear pretty much every day when I'm on campus at college. Oftentimes I'll wear this bigger one on my middle finger and then this little one on my pointer finger on my other hand. But obviously I will like change them around depending how I feel. But these are the ones that I wear the most, and they have held up pretty well. They're very sturdy. These have gotten wet several times. I wash my hands a lot. I don't like the feeling of wet rings though, but they have gotten wet. They have been washed several times and they have not turned, and they have not turned my fingers, so they're legit. By the same company, I have another ring that I used to wear all the time back in high school with those other two rings. It was just this little flower one. This one I feel like you can tell is showing its age a bit more. Yeah, but it's just this little like dainty little flower chain. But these are like really good rings, and I found them from Amazon. The company's on Amazon. Next in that bag is a stack of little thin gold bands. Two of them are this little braided texture, and then one is just flat gold. Obviously not real. These are good like to stack on each other. what I used to like to do is to stack, because these gold ones are a little big on me, like a quarter of a size too big. I used to stack my silver ones, which are like a more snug fit for me, on top of one of them. I'm not usually a big fan of gold jewelry though, but these are like nice if you want a stack, because they're so like thin and dainty, but again, they're not like real gold, so they're not as sturdy as the Boruo rings that I have. I have another Boruo bag of rings that I don't wear pretty much ever. I will if the occasion ever calls for them, but the problem is that the occasion never calls. But continuing on what was part of that gold stack, it's this little, almost eternity band with little fake diamonds. Again, a bit too big, a bit too like wide for my comfort. So again, this would be like one that you'd stack with another ring. Another ring is, let's see if I can find the logo. There it is. I got it's on this little like rope choker necklace string that I reused from an old necklace that I don't have the charm for anymore. Just because like I didn't want to lose it. But it's a little band of the dragon from Tokyo Revengers, because I eventually want a tattoo of it. I love Tokyo Revengers. It has like such a little special meaning for me. And Draken and Mitsuya are my two favorite characters. Mikey is also in my top 3. And yeah, Draken especially. There's like, you can't miss it. He has a tattoo of this dragon on the side of his head. But I just really like Tokyo Revengers, and I at some point got this ring, and I was gonna wear it like as an actual necklace, but I have yet to wear it. I might get like a longer chain because I'm not usually a choker fan for like everyday life. But the final ring in that other bag is one that I found at an antique store. No idea how old it is, but it's this little gold ring. I don't know what this gem is, but it's got like little fake diamonds on the side, and it's very pretty. Again, it's a little too big and a little too like wide, but it's very pretty. Comfortable band. I'm not usually like if a ring that I'm wearing just like on its own is like super thin, I'm not a huge fan of it, but this one is fine. I'm just not happy with like how high it sticks up, and also it's because it's like a smidge too big for me, for my fingers. But it's very pretty, but I never wear it because it's so like flashy, and the occasion never calls for it. But the last few rings I have to show. This next one is I got in lieu of a class ring when I was a senior in high school. I did order a catalog of like a local jeweler that came to my school, but they never ended up making that ring, so I got a refund and went to K Jewelers and got this little gem. Again, never wear it because it's so flashy, but it fits so well, obviously, because I got it like custom sized and stuff. I can't remember if this is a garnet or spinel. I want to say garnet, but I could be wrong. I took geology in college and I still don't know my gems. But it's like that little teardrop shape, I guess. Little tiny fake diamonds on the sides and around it. Very pretty, but again, never wear it because it's so flashy. But this was in lieu of a class ring, and the specific color of the gem, even though I'm not a huge fan of like red or pinks, I say with like magenta walls. I got it because one of my high school's color scheme was black and red. So here's a red one because I already have like so much black in my wardrobe. But this is like one of my favorite rings. I just don't wear it. But the final ring that I have is the one I got from my grandma after she already passed. It never leaves this little case that I got it in. And this was her actual ring. It's like an Art Deco style. She loved Art Deco rings, apparently. I'm not gonna like put it over my knuckle very far, but again, it's this very like oval shape that I really, really like, and I feel like it looks really nice on my fingers. I don't know what stone this is, obviously, but the story behind this was after she passed in 2016, I inherited her jewelry box and most of her rings, pretty much all of her rings actually, and a few like other bits and pieces that she never wore in life. And I had inherited this ring, but my aunt and my mom kept this one a secret from me because it needed cleaned and like restored. It was just like so old and loved by my grandma, and they decided to keep it until my high school graduation. And the day of the ceremony, like immediately after, we went to dinner, like right after the ceremony ended and stuff, right like on that car ride to the restaurant for dinner, they gave me this ring. And my aunt said that she kept it in her pocket while watching the ceremony, watching me get my diploma and stuff, so that it would be like my grandma was there seeing her baby, because I was her favorite person in the world and she was mine. It was like my grandma would be there in spirit to see me graduate high school. So I've only worn this once, and I worn it for a Yor cosplay because of her engagement ring or her wedding ring. Never wore it since. But I love it. It's so sweet, and it stays in the box that my aunt had it in when she watched me get my diploma. But that's it for the rings. So now let's go to, I think we should go to the bracelets and then end with like the chokers and the necklaces. So on to the bracelets. Again, there's not very many here. Let me just I guess we can start with the newer one, this like chain one that I've already had in a video. I think this was like in Emo Friends video, one of Emo Friends video. But it's this little charm bracelet by the brand Social Collision from Hot Topic. I have a lot of Social Collision stuff. There's like this little bunch of little charms and stuff. Like a little moon, a little feather, flower, skull, cross. It's just this little charm bracelet. I thought it would be cute. It would go with a lot of my other jewelry that I had. So yeah, not really like a big story there. But also from Hot Topic, I got this little set of pink ghost face bracelets. I'll show this one off first. There's Ghostface. There's my man. I love Scream. It's my favorite slasher, my favorite horror movie in general. So, and obviously these that came in a set of 3. So there was that one and this one that says "Call Me" with a little heart and a little knife. And this other one here, that's again a knife that says Ghostface. So again, I've only like worn this, I think, in one video, and I think it was also an emo friend video. But I love Ghostface, so here these are. The next one I have is this little, like, I don't think it's candy, it's more like just a friendship bracelet. It says Cutie. It's got like a little bear charm, star, heart. This is literally from Five Below, but I got some matching ones with a few friends from college. So again, I never wore this one, but it's cute and it's got like a little cute meaning behind it. Also a little friendship bracelet from someone from college, although this person that I got this one from I've known since 3rd grade, but we go to college together and we're still close friends. We even have the same, like, we're majoring in the same thing. This came from a pack of like bluey friendship bracelets. This one just says like XOXO. Again, I never wear it, but it's got like a cute little sentimental meaning. So those are like the little cute friendship bracelets that I have. And those are the only bracelets I actually chose to show off for this video. So moving on to necklaces, let's do this little dainty guy right here. This one is from Etsy, and it is indeed Bridgerton themed because I love Bridgerton. And back in the fall, one of my essays for one of my college classes was, I made a video about it too. Could I rework the video? Yes. But I made a video diving into the trauma of Anthony Bridgerton and the meaning of the bees in the show and the book. And it was the most fun I've ever had on a school project, ever. So I don't remember the shop name, but it's from Etsy. I'm sure if you look up like Bridgerton necklaces on there, you'll find something like that. It came with a little note that said like, this will bring you a handsome Viscount or something, because Viscount Anthony, he's my favorite character and he's the one I did the essay on. But it's just this little dainty bee, and it's really cute, really subtle. Again, I'm not a huge like gold person, but I sucked it up for the sake of Bridgerton, like I do quite often with Bridgerton. Another newer necklace that I have, is also from Hot Topic and Social Collision, is this little like stained glass window. Again, pretty, like, kind of subtle, kind of not. Definitely not as subtle as the Bridgerton one, but yeah. It's just something. A little pop of color. So, this next one is still in its packaging, actually. It has been in quite a few videos, both me wearing it and showing it off. I got this, God, was it already 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. Whenever I went to Richmond, Virginia to visit the Poe Museum, Edgar Allan Poe Museum, I got some things from the gift shop. And the main one from there was this black cat pendant. It's got little red eyes. So again, a very nice looking pop to an outfit where I already wear like mostly black. So yeah, this little like cute little guy. Very cute. Very cute, very scary, as per Edgar Allan Poe fashion. Obviously based on his story, The Black Cat, and I also have a black cat of my own. So, this little guy, I unfortunately don't wear him that often, but I don't know, good memories. The final few things I have to show are a few chokers. This one was also in an emo friend video. It's just this little spiky choker. I really want to wear this one more often. I don't think I've ever worn this aside from recent emo friend videos, but it's just like this spiky choker. I think would go well with a lot of my outfits, actually. So I think I want to wear this one more often. And it's got like the little chains that the charm bracelet has. I don't remember where this one was from. It very well could have been from Amazon. But yeah, this one, I like this one a lot. I think I want to wear that one more often. The next choker is also one that's made appearances in videos. This little, like, what's this called? The pacifier. The little pacifier. I had this one for several years. I think I got this in like 2017. I often wear this one with Marin Kiyagawa, my cosplay from My Dress Up Darling. Like both times I've worn her to a con, I've worn this necklace because she has a choker that I just feel like this one suits my cosplay of her more, and it's also like more comfortable to wear than a lot of my other chokers. This one I do vividly remember getting, and it's from Hot Topic. Yeah, there's that little choker. And the final one, not my final choker that I own obviously, but it's the final one that I wanted to do for this video, is also one that I never wear. I wore it for a few cosplays in like 2020, but since then? No. It's got this little like velvet strap on it. It's this little pretty little gem, and I last wore this when I last wore it at my high school prom. I don't like the pictures of me from my high school prom, but I might put up one just to show off that I wore it. Yeah. This is another one that like it could go with like a lot of my outfits, but it's just like, I don't know, it's not as comfortable as a lot of my necklaces. I think I'm growing out of my choker phase, which is a little scary considering all throughout high school and middle school I wore like a tattoo choker every day at school. But I still really like this one. It's super pretty. It's very, very my style still, but it's just not as comfortable as some other jewelry that I have. But with that, this video was way longer than I anticipated it to be. But I hope you guys enjoyed my little collection, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye! Hello everybody, welcome to the not so long awaited manga bookshelf tour. I have been collecting since 2015, but have not been taking it seriously until I want to say about 2020 or 2019 maybe. And as you can see, there's quite a lot to go through. I've done a few hauls before where I explained how I got this many, and blame my aunt for allowing me to come with her for an annual Books A Million trip. But we have a lot to go through, so let's start up at the top. You can kind of see a Steve Irwin Funko Pop up there because that man was my childhood. Anyway, the top shelf, let's go this way. We have Kami-sama Kiss, a favorite of mine, one of the first anime I ever watched, and to this day still a comfort. And that little Monokuma up there was made by one of my friends from college. He was a little Christmas present from them to me, and he now protects my manga. But this next section is The Devil's a Part-Timer. This is the manga up here, and the light novels back there. I don't have all of them, as you can probably tell, but it's another one of my favorites, and probably one of my favorite manga that I have. And above it is the effect of me watching Bungo Stray Dogs and being a literature major in college. I'm an English major, but it's essentially the same thing. We have Junji Ito's version of No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai, The Setting Sun, also by Osamu Dazai, and poems of Chuya Nakahara. And speaking of Bungo, we have this little display here. The manga in the back is just random volumes of the different universes in Bungo and the light novels and the first 3 seasons on DVD plus Dead Apple. And in front we have Chuya and Dazai standees. This is a bottle of fake crow feathers to resemble Kurama from Kami-sama Kiss. That little mushroom I got from, I think it was HerdCon 2024, and these little gem turtles. That one's amethyst. I don't know what one this one is. I'm not very knowledgeable about gem names like off the top of my head, but these were a little gift from my mom. But the next tier, let's start with Haikyuu, one of my loves, my favorite sports anime. We've got a DVD from My Hero. Actually, which one is this? Two Heroes. Then we have Kenma. This book that Haikyuu and Aoharu Ride are on, I did not like, hence why it is now a stand for the rest of my manga. Not to say it was bad, but it wasn't for me. We have Kenma, my boy. I need to get a Kuro for him. But we have Aoharu Ride and a few My Hero thingies up there. And we have Sailor Moon and Kami-sama Kiss. I bought the first 4 volumes of back in 2015, and that was the very start of my collection. And boy, has it grown now, even though I have not bought any more Sailor Moon after that. But next we have a Kimono Jihen. I still have yet to read this. I need to. It's still on my TBR. Honey Lemon Soda. I'd say if you're a fan of Aoharu Ride, you might like this one. Like, to me, they have similar vibes. I have not finished it. In fact, I have not even finished this first volume. But so far from what I've read, it's similar vibes. And we have Lovesick Ellie. I've heard this was pretty good. Still haven't started it yet. And the final half of this shelf is just a bunch of My Hero, plus Persona 5 and Chainsaw Man. But here are the smaller figures. We have some Sailor Moon. We have a little Kaminari. We have some mystery babies from Sailor Moon. Mystery things from My Hero. This Fantasy Kirishima was by Elf Boy. And then this Bakugo. I have so many Bakugo figures on my other shelf, but y'all won't be seeing that one today. This is just about the manga. But the next tier down is mostly Tokyo Revengers, if you couldn't tell by all of the figures. In the corner I have Living Room Matsunaga-san. Still have not started that. And then Tokyo Revengers. I'm not collecting the full series. I read all of it online, as with Bungo. But I think I'll get one more if the cover and on the spine is Draken, because Draken's one of my favorites. Hence why I have the volumes with Mikey and Baji's covering him, but Mitsuya, I literally only bought them because they were on the cover. But this little book on display, Akun fell down. This little book on display is the anime guide book, and it's from season 1, the best season. They really messed up the other seasons, but season 4 is coming, so hopefully that will be better. But then we have Servamp. I need to get back into it. Same with Vampire Dormitory, Toilet Bound Hanako, and then Hunter x Hunter, the oldest series in my collection from this shelf alone. But the final tier, aside from the very bottom one, you can see my outlet there, but the very bottom one, I have a box set of Oron. But this very last tier is basically just a bunch of one-off ones or collections I don't plan on growing. Like back there is some volume of Given, there's Tokyo Ghoul, Watakoi, Hell's Paradise, my first copy of volume 1 of Oron before I got the box set, Spy Family, there's a whole bunch back there, the first volume of Soul Eater that I got before I got the hardcovers, Dragon Ball, Death Note, Song of Achilles, Fruits Basket, and a Dramatical Murder DVD. And then we have a little Zenitsu and Kanato and Subaru from Dialogue Lovers. Obviously Zenitsu's from Demon Slayer. Can't Stop Cursing You. I'm not planning on collecting it, but the spines are black, so it went with the other black spines. Angels of Death. I think that's complete of the main series. I think there's a volume 0 now, but when I was really into Angels of Death, it was just those 5 volumes. So I'm not really planning on collecting any more of that. Jujutsu Kaisen, not planning on getting any more physical copies. It's another one I read online. This one is probably my pride and joy, Chibi Vampire. Love of my life. I'm not saying it's a very good series, but it's one of my favorites. And it's about a month older than I am. I turned 21 in November. This turns 21 in October. But obviously it's been out of print for several years. I bought this one secondhand. Love of my life. I love it so much. And then finally we have a bunch of little trinkets here. There's a mojito back there. The energy drink can I got because my college, we have a market in our college, and it was a special thing that they had. They had just like a small display of UG energy drinks. They had Dragon Ball ones too, but I wanted UG. We've got some Chainsaw Man babies, Whis from Dragon Ball back there, and the 3 little goobers from Jujutsu Kaisen. And with that is my current, as of August 2024, manga collection. No one asked for this, and I guarantee you it will flop, but I wanted to do it anyway. I wanted to show before I added to it and made it a complete mess because of how like disorganized everything is, aside from these first 3 shelves. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.